Let's see. That just left 80mm cannon welder. Seeing him suddenly sent a wave aiming at him, suddenly sent a strange wave of exhaustion. Oh, by the way, hello folks. Sorry to just jump in right away. Well, I prefer usually. I hate writing chapter titles. That's why I let my chapters run long and wild. Much like my hair. Sent a strange wave of exhaustion through her. She realized that the fighting, realized abruptly that while this was probably her last opponent of the mission, was far the last of her career. She was a wanted woman, and there'd be no escape from. She was a wanted woman, and her enemies would hunt her the rest of her days, no matter what she did. And the enemy forces were legion in number. Thousands of golem suits out there. And more pilots training every day. Every day. The Zedin military industry was booming. And she wondered how long it was booming, like it hadn't been since since the start of World War III. Belza wondered how long it would take them to replace the golems. Replace the golems lost today. Probably only months, weeks or months. Probably only months at this point. Probably only months. That was Zeta's greatest strength. Its economy. It could replace, no matter what defeats it faced in the last world wars, it could just replace those losses and continue to fight. Their enemies, no matter how much better they were, couldn't replace their losses, and thus the Zedins would always eventually reach a stage where they would always. Yeah, I thought I said almost always. America's always dominated its enemies eventually, even in the Revolutionary War, I guess. Though, you know, that was kind of crazy that actually worked in the end. I mean, that the British just left them alone and such. It wasn't like, I don't think there was like a big crisis going on in Britain at the time that they said, oh, we can't use resources over here in the colonies, we gotta focus here on the home front. Not like there was a civil war, or they had another war with France or something. That came later when Napoleon took power, which was like 40 years after the Revolutionary War, I think. Anyway, wonder how they took fortresses back then when they didn't have tanks or anything that could blow places up. I mean, they had cannons and stuff. I'm rambling again. And thus, the Zedins always, eventually won. Would always get. Let's see, they're no matter what they come to replace their losses as well. As Zeta would always gain the upper hand eventually. They crushed Japan, Bloodka, and the Jade Empire eventually, with superior numbers and so on. Yeah, I mean, you know, like in World War II in the Pacific I'm reading about, the Japanese, you know, they went to war with America in the Pacific to destroy their ships, to gain naval dominance, but when the Battle of Midway came, the Japanese lost 4 of their carriers, and they couldn't replace them. They didn't have the industry to. But if America had suffered those kind of losses, they could have eventually replaced them and bound back. So I think America only lost a few carriers in that war. They beat the Japanese strategically. Okay, let's see. I've committed myself to an endless war, Belza thought. She supposed her warrior ancestors, who lived in straw and stone huts along the Rhine, would be proud of her. They never knew peace. Peace in their short, brutal lives. And neither would she. She'd be at war till she died. With that thought, Belza squeezed the trigger and destroyed that last enemy golem. He put a 100mm shell right through his chest. He was torn apart inside out. Just like a human would be on the much smaller scale of infantry fighting. The enemy golem dropped his rifle, 80mm, still smoking, and the shells fired. I gave him a 60mm by accident. I'll have to check. Ooh, oh my lord. Yeah, folk think sometimes of the good things in the world when you're writing stuff like this. Like all the good, happy little people that live their lives. You know, slice of life kind of stuff, I guess. Not sure if slice of life is a genre outside of anime. I guess that This Is Us show is kind of like that. Not sure. Perhaps the Americans invented this slice of life in reality, I don't know. Like those old shows, Leave It to Beaver and such. The Andy Griffin Show. Let's see. The golem tumbled to his knees, shaking the earth, cracking the ground as he fell. He seemed to stare up at Belza just before the suit exploded outward, almost like a piece of big and small pieces scattering about the area, almost like wreckage from a crashed plane. Did I use that? Yeah, crashed. Did I use that analogy already? Yeah, I did. And small pieces scattering about the area. Right, you know what it looked like? And what looked like a burning junkyard. Yeah, that's the ticket. You run out of analogies eventually. Screw it, right? All the analogies have been picked already. And it's not like maybe I can use 2 in a row. I don't know. As Belza retreated, she saw 2 more of her comrade golems. It's shot by 100mm cannons, go down in flames. Belza supposed this operation had gone a lot bloodier than expected. She might end up executed just for the number of casualties. Or maybe her superiors would promote her to general, or demote her. Anything could happen. Happen back at base. Summon the portal. Belza requested over the radio. Our forces are pulling out. Portal will be open soon. Finish off the enemy base. That was a period. Right, god damn it. Is there a frickin' stupid mail truck out there? I thought the mail isn't supposed to come on Sunday. Who are these frickin' UPS people? Every time I try to just do some writing, then someone's gonna knock on my door and say, go out and get the paper, go out and get the stuff. It's gonna get frozen out there in the cold. Damn it. Who cares if it gets frozen? Who cares? If it's my Christmas gift, it doesn't matter. It's frickin' Hickory Farm sausage, probably. Or some pack of smoked salmon. Who cares if that gets cold? It actually tastes better cold. Let's see. Free portal will be open soon. Finish off the enemy base. The enemy base. Yes, sir. There's a reply. The nuclear cannon was loaded and ready. The golems, the Jade Golem teams, got back a retreat, a good let's see, what's a good distance? 30, not kilometers, 30 meter from the base. Therefore, one of them, or the one with the nuclear cannon, fired. He aimed right for the main building that had been the scene of such vicious fighting back and forth. The whole base was littered with corpses of all sides and all types. Littered. Litter red. Second, I thought maybe there was two spellings of littered, one having a completely different meaning because the T was missing. English has those kind of rules to it. I wouldn't mind so much, but I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to getting the writing right on all fronts. I have a big problem with double negatives, I think. So every time I use the word didn't, I have like a little stroke. The base was laid with corpses of all sizes and all types. Bells of thought the battlefield. Battlefield had a strange sort of beauty to it. Beauty of destruction, fire, of things made by man being undone by man. It was poetic. That was a wish she could have taken a few photos, because the base was going to be destroyed soon. Destroyed utterly in a few moments. I'll have to check what the last time was. PM. Not that many notes today, but you know, lately I've had a ton of notes. I start working on the notes at 8 o'clock in the morning, and usually I finish the notes by about, for all the stories, you know, corrections and whatnot, by about 9:30. What I like to do is be done with all that stuff and start writing by 9:50. So I have an hour or so just writing before I go and have my breakfast, and then start writing again about an hour after that, which is this writing session you're seeing before you. Destroyed utterly in a few moments. Belza's recon type golems. Armored up to the point where they barely counted as light golems anymore. More like infantry class. Didn't come with their cameras equipped. Belza was surprised by that. she would think her superiors would want to exploit the propaganda and of this oppressive raid. Our fallen comrades will die, will not receive a proper burial. Paz Niza noted. I forget his rank. I think paz is the Spanish word for peace. A bit of sadness there. The trouble that South America has had lately. Someday I'm gonna write a slew of stories set in South America. That was my New Year's resolution. I did write a story that year set in South America. Nice Diet Pepsi. I love a cold, ice-cold Diet Pepsi. Nothing finer in the world. I don't know who could stand to drink them warm. I kind of like the taste of Coca-Cola warm. I mean, it's tasty enough. You don't need the cold to make it better, I guess. It's a little advertisement there. Let's see. A shame writers aren't famous these days. You could have a Starbucks sponsorship. Just give me those double shot energy drinks for life, and I'll advertise it. And I'll advertise Starbucks on every page of this book. Let's see. To Belza. Unfortunate. Belza agreed. But they will live on in our memories and glory. Being a bloodkin, you must be used to leaving dead comrades behind. Paz Niza noted. Indeed, Belza agreed. Though she thought the Jade knew what that was like. They left their dead on battlefields all over the known world in their World War. Most of the dead bloodkins of World War III died in battlefields, in the battlefields of Europe, including more than 1 million who died defending bloodkin soil itself. Ready to launch, Commander. Belza's nuclear cannon. Belza's man with the nuclear cannon said. Belza kept expecting something to go wrong. Someone to come stop them. She was pretty sure the only one who could stop them was some superhuman goddess like Dominique Richington. Of course, Dami had not appeared in the incident so far, and it seemed like it was a little late for her to show up. Belza wondered why she had abandoned her Zetan allies. Nice. Perhaps she was still angry with them over that stuff in World War III. The little matter of them declaring war on her and all Omega class superhumans. I'll have to check if that's Omega. I might have given it a different name. Omega means big, right? I remember it was a word from the Omega Man, which was an adaptation of, was it a 70s adaptation of The Last Man on Earth, starring Charlton Heston, where he fought these mutants. I'm sure they probably changed some other details. Those blind vampires from The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, though, they were freaking creepy. Something about people coming at you with dead, staring eyes. Yeah, that's how they should make zombies look. Don't give them those stupid, milky white eyes. Just give them people eyes, but make them like dead people eyes with no light in the eye reflected. You know what that looks like. I'm sure everyone's seen a picture of a dead person with their eyes open at some point. This is the internet age, after all. People see things now that they never got a chance to see in their lives. Probably an understatement. Let's see. Proceed. Belza ordered. The missile flew. The missile was fired. Though it was a small device, it produced an explosion grand enough to decimate that enemy base on the spot. Just flatten it completely and drive most of it into a huge crater. Crater formed simultaneously, like a blast of energy down from heaven. A great fireball, a great red-orange fireball transformed into a black mushroom cloud. The explosion killed and vaporized many corpses. Corpses, big and small. Where is it? Vaporized many corpses, and many living and many dead. The Zedin golems who moved in to secure the base after the Jade retreat were destroyed in mass. No time for reflection. Most of the base was gone afterwards. After the blast. Besides some fencing and some intact, scorched plains of concrete. The blast was somewhere in the area. According to Belza's computer within her golem, had a strength in the area of 15 kilotons. 15 kilotons. Comparable to some of the nukes used in World War III. The City Destroyer. Those bombs had destroyed cities, whole cities. And this bomb here had just taken out a military base. Probably only killed about 200 or so people, next to the hundreds of thousands killed by the World War III era nukes. This would not be the last nuke used today. At 6:45 p.m., the missile was fired. Did I call it a rocket earlier? Yep, I'll check on that. Rocket. They're not nuclear rockets, I think they're missiles. I don't know. Did they ever call them rockets? Probably when they were just being designed. Alright, 25 minutes in. See you later, folks. This has been a productive writing session, but I must continue alone so I can listen to my favorite music, like Little Birdhouse in Your Soul and other classics. I mean, that'd be an appropriate music choice for this to listen to while reading this, right? Alright, let's see.